Hey everyone. Yeah, I want to talk about, well, first, I'm very excited about Dagger Cloud, even though it's still in early access, remember. But yeah, we're very impatient to get your feedback. Um, so I want to give an update on what we call Project Zenith, which is an ongoing um, project to develop a major new feature for the Dagger engine. So this is on the open source engine side. And that feature is cross-language components. So encapsulating some sweet Dagger pipeline logic in a function that you can reuse in your next project or share with the community for someone else to reuse, and a way for you to find other functions to reuse that someone else made. And all of that's cross language. So maybe you're developing with the Go SDK, and you should be able to reuse the perfect function written in Python or in TypeScript and vice versa. So that feature has been a long time coming. It's sort of the linchpin of the whole platform. The whole point of Dagger is you can encapsulate all this complicated automation in your software project, all these scripts, all these pipelines into nice code that you can test and reuse, etc. But until you can actually have this cross-language component system, you're not fully taking advantage of it. So we're very impatient to ship this. We think we'll be able to release it, let's say a first experimental release next month, and hopefully a stable release not long after that. So this is just a quick, it's not a super awesome polished demo or anything, but we did make a lot of progress in the last few weeks. So I thought I would first let you know this exists and it's coming. Second, let you know that you can play with it. So if you're in Discord, on the Dagger Discord, there's a Project Zenith channel, and that's where we're basically developing this in the open and now testing it increasingly. And there's a build, and now there's a whole universe of modules that you can start contributing to, as long as you're not afraid of unstable APIs. Let me check the chat real quick for questions. Demo. Okay, great. The demo. And then, is there a meeting tomorrow? Yes, there's a Zenith. There's also a weekly call on Discord on Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can just see people popping up, on it's a channel called Dev Audio, I think. It's just the developers of Project Zenith plus people testing it, talking about the project. Anyone can show up. You can ask questions, show something you did, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So let me share my screen.
Demo time?
Demo time.
All right, gotta get ready.
Yeah, it's actually not as, I didn't have as much time as I hoped, but okay. So the first thing is Alex. Oh, I appreciate the trust. Um, okay. So I gotta hide my Zoom bar here. Come on, Zoom. Okay. This is what we call the Daggerverse. This is an experimental website developed by Alex or Vito on Discord. And it's a little index of our little Dagger modules that we started developing for Project Zenith. This does not work with the stable release of Dagger. You need to use a special branch of Dagger. Will basically, if you click on this link, what's a module? It'll send you to the README in that branch. And then you just follow these instructions and you'll get a build in no time. And then from there, you can develop your first module. Okay, so what is a module? Well, let me rewind. In this new future version of Dagger, everything starts with scripts. So you've got a software project and it's got scripts. Let me see a few emojis if you have scripts in your project. We've got to adapt to the times. I can't have people lift their hand. Okay. Okay, now I'm giving you a few seconds to choose an emoji to describe how you feel about the scripts in your project. Okay, they're very funny scripts. Okay. Maybe this experiment is not working.
The reactions have limited emojis, but you
Oh,
could
right.
use chat if you want
Yes,
folks to
that's
express
okay.
themselves.
Okay, I'll just take a leap of faith and say, software projects have a lot of scripts, and usually they're annoying because they have a list of problems that we're familiar with at Dagger, because that's those are the problems that Dagger can help with. They're not reproducible. They work on my machine, but on the new developer's machine, they don't have an API, so I can't compose them easily with something else. They're hard to test, et cetera, et cetera. So Dagger, with the help of Zenith, will let you replace those artisanal scripts with functions. And functions are these neatly encapsulated little pieces of code that work like a function you used to. You call them with arguments, inputs, and then they return outputs. But all of that is done in a way that's both reproducible because it's all running in containers, and it's cross-language because the inputs and the outputs are expressed in a cross-language type system called GraphQL. So you write your functions. You got a function for getting a base image. You got a function for setting up your build environment, a function for building, a function for deploying, a function for testing. Just as many functions as you need, as modular or monolithic as you need. You can also have just one giant function that does everything, if that's your thing. When you're done, you package those functions in what we call a module. And a module is basically just a directory with the source code of your functions. It could be just a few files. Plus, you just add a little config file, dagger.json, with a few fields that basically say, hey, I'm a Dagger module. And it's a name. At some point, it'll be a version, and also information about which SDK to use to load this module. Okay, so then you have your module. And then what can you do with that module? Well, you can point to the Dagger engine at it. So you just use the Dagger CLI and you say, load that module and serve an API for that module. And now Dagger will do its magic. It'll use the SDK you indicate, load up all that code running into a special container, plug that into the API server. Now you get an HTTP API for your module. And so now you can start having fun because any client can hit that API and start calling functions, your functions from your module in a very easy way. And from there, you can just choose different ways of doing that. So one will be, the CLI itself will give you an easy way to call a function. You can also point you can curl if you want. And of course, you can also, most importantly, write your own module, add other modules as dependencies, and from your module's functions, call other modules functions. But it's all through the same HTTP API. So hopefully that makes sense. In practice, here's what it looks like. So this is, let me just step for a second to see if there are questions. Oh, only positive emojis, right? That makes sense. Oh, request to scroll down to show Jeremy's module. Oh, look at that.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
There it was. There.
Okay.
Okay, good. I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, any questions so far? No, it's not super interactive, the format, but I'll keep going if there's no questions. It's fine.
No, it's all good.
So, let me collect my thoughts here. Yeah. So, you get your module, and then this is something that will probably be part of, it'll be like a primary product, but this works. This is the Daggerverse. So it's basically the entire collection of all Dagger modules everywhere. And we give you this little service to navigate that and find it. If you're familiar with Go packages and how the Go module system works, we're directly copying that model. In other words, we will not centralize storage and hosting of the modules. So it's not like a Docker Hub model. We will not centralize and control the naming of these modules. So it's not like an NPM or PyPy model. Instead, you host your modules anywhere you want. They're just source code. So you can see these are all on GitHub, of course, but this could be GitLab. we're going to diversify as much as possible the possible locations. Just leave it wherever you want. And you can name them anything you want. And then as a convenience, we let you publish these here for discovery and indexing. So then what happens is each of these is an event where one of us, and this is not just Dagger employees, we had a few Dagger knots join the fun. You push your repo and then you say, oh, please crawl, this repo over here. For example, you can see Ali here pushed a new version of his Gale module. If you know what Gale is, you should get excited. So this is a project to have GitHub Actions compatibility on Dagger, a way for Dagger to run GitHub Actions jobs directly as a Zenith module. Okay, so let's say I want to use this. Okay, so I click on it because it'll read me. Okay, so remember, this is still rough. It's getting good actions. I'm going to start with the simpler one because I feel like I haven't actually tried running this one and I worry I'm going to fail. Okay, so I'm going to try hello world. I'm going to start easy. Okay. So I'm going to copy this. And actually, I don't want to use it in my own module. I'm going to start something simpler. I'm going to so you can type the same command from your own terminal. You need the right Dagger binary installed, okay? But once you have that, you can say, okay, I'm going to query this module. Or no, actually even better, I'm going to serve that module's API locally. So Dagger listen -m, boom, this. I don't care about the specific version. And I'm going to do this just so my little web visualization works. Oh, I gotta have the. 1 second. Okay, now I'm good. I was using the current version of. Oh, there's 3 L's. Okay. So it's fetching the module. It's just doing what it's got to do. And now it's serving the API. So now I can go to my little visualizer here and reload. And now I have a full API. So of course there's also all the core Dagger types. So this does not break the Dagger API, it adds to it. But now I can go hello. Oh, it's not here. Gotta reload maybe. Hello world. Okay. What can I do here? Message. Okay. What else can I do? Oh, let me change the name. I can change the greeting. Yay. Okay, so this was a Dagger module. So under the hood, this was all run by Dagger, and I can show you the code for that. Okay, so there's a bunch of boilerplate. Okay, don't panic. There's code gen involved. This is the actual module. It's 39 lines. So this is what I actually had to type to make this happen. This wonderful, amazing experience happen. I have my own little hello world type. And then I just said, with greeting, you can say I take the string and I just set the field and I return my thing. So you can see, so this is this. Okay, wait, this is this with name, with greeting, with name, with greeting, message, and then it just kind of does a little logic here. And just to make sure we're not cheating here. Oh, well, I can't edit it here, but let me just to show you how awesomely simple the DX is here. Okay, so let's see. I want to. I'm going to just capitalize everything. How about that? Oh, you know what? Actually, even better. I'll just add a whole new function. Like, it's hard to be creative with hello world, but any ideas for what we should do? Jeremy, can you watch the chat? I'm just going to say all caps. I'm going to add in all caps. And the all caps will just
Yeah, shout mode, says Garrett.
oh yeah, shout.
There you go.
Returns a string. This is actually can be further simplified. I'll show how. Shout, and I'll just say return hello dot message. Oh yeah, see that's the part. This is what I want to do. I just want to do hello dot message. You know, pass that into the Go thing to capitalize. But because there's error checking here, I have to check the blah blah blah. But no, it's boring. And fortunately, Alex thought it was also boring, so he simplified. So now I can optionally do this. So live, this is what we mean by moving fast. Okay. So normally this should work. Let me get rid of the others. Of course, sometimes you do need a context and errors, like if you're doing actual things that can fail, but here we're not. We're just moving strings around. So why do we need all this? We don't. Okay. Okay, I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, so now I'm developing my module. So there's this thing called sync. I don't know if that's the final thing we'll use, but basically the magic works with code generation. I'll explain why after. Okay, let's say it worked. So that command I had from before, let me just, just do it on the local version. Okay. Still working.
Yes.
I'll have to reload, I think, to get the shout. Aha, there it is. Okay, so that's the dev loop. And honestly, I can tell you, it's really fun. So I just want to show you now another module. I will show you Sam's module. So it's awesome if Sam decides to use it because Sam's a busy guy. Okay, Daggerverse. Okay, so Sam has this module called inline Python. And the way it works is you give it a string and it's going to run it as Python in a container. So I don't have to install Python on my machine ever again. Hypothetically, if Python were annoying to install, that would be a good thing. Okay. I'm in my Daggerverse directory here, but it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't have to be, there's nothing special here. I'm just fetching his module. So, one more thing about what did I do? The previous example here, this one here, you don't have to go through an interactive thing. You can also do this. There are different ways to, remember I mentioned it serves an API and then you can query that API to call functions. So this was one way of querying the API, right? Visually. But of course, maybe I want to just send the query directly, right? So my hello world, I could just also say this. I could say, just pipe a query in here. So, okay. And bear with me. I know GraphQL is an acquired taste. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people are just confused by it. You will not have to write raw GraphQL query to use this. I promise. This is the bare plumbing here. We're still adding some porcelain. But here you could say, same query as before, hello world, shout. And you get the TUI and everything. So you can actually see what's going on. And it fades. Oh, wait. I'm trying to use, I have to use my own local version. This should work, I think. Yay. Okay. You get the idea. And if I remove focus, you can see the whole thing running as usual, right? If you want to see what actually happens here. So it's really, this is all just layered on top of the existing API you know and love. Jeremy, any questions or reactions? Anything I should address before I keep moving?
Keep moving.
Okay, I'll keep moving. Okay. So let me now play with this module here. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Um, okay, notice that this, of course, will not work. But in fact, you could we don't support it yet, but you should be able to load multiple modules and it'll just be merged in one beautiful HTTP API. So you can compose modules that way. Okay, let's see. Inline code, inline Python.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
question
aha.
from Siri and Q&A. How the module code's pushed into Dagger?
Um, it's the Dagger engine loads the module. So basically, that you give it the raw source code, and it will, using Dagger, it will assemble a special container that contains your module's code. It will build it, of course, with the help of the SDK, and then it will um, load it into a special little server provided by the that we call a runtime. That is a special container supplied by the SDK, and that little runtime, it speaks a special protocol that the Dagger engine uses to tell that container what to do. And then when it has that runtime container, um, from there the engine runs it. The runtime talks to the engine and says, "Oh, here I am. I have all these functions. This is what I do." So it kind of registers at runtime. By the way, SDK developers, this will be less work than before. So, I mean, SDKs will need to be adapted to use this, but SDKs are generally going to shrink because we moved a bunch of annoying work to the engine. So it'll be easier to write new SDKs. And then the engine, receives this information about all the functions in the module, and then from there it exposes that as a GraphQL. It assembles a GraphQL schema, and then it serves an API. And then when a client queries the API and it navigates the GraphQL schema, it's basically requesting to call certain functions. And then the engine says, okay, this function's from that module. Let me go and ask the module to run it. And so it will spin up the container, and boom, from there, that container runs your code, and your code has full access to the Dagger API. So then you can go ahead and run more containers, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how it works. Basically, a completely composable GraphQL server, composable and self-hosted because it runs itself, if that makes sense. Okay. Inline Python. You asked, so I answered. Okay, I don't remember how to code in Python, so I'm gonna look at an example here. There's examples. There it is. Okay, let me take this. Ta-da. Actually, that's good. Code. Um, import requests. Import requests. Let's see if that import requests are that get. Let me see if this works. Google. Then I'll just print what I get.
And while you're typing that, Nipuna asks, so an external SDK can use the generated module SDK or the generated modules, API essentially via code instead of parsing GraphQL.
Say that again. Sorry.
basically that we can call these functions from modules inside of the Dagger, inside of a new Dagger module you're writing in an SDK.
Yeah. So I'll show calling modules from modules in a second. I just want to see the result here. I want it to work. But my query is broken. This is the
you
code.
need to import the package.
Yeah, no, I know that, but that was the little surprise. You're always taking the surprise. But is the syntax okay? It looks okay, no? What's the GraphQL error? Oh, no, it's a GraphQL error. I didn't even make it.
Might be escaping the quotes or something.
Oh no!
I would put some
single quotes are fine, and then you need to select something out of code actually.
Okay.
So std out.
std out. Okay.
Or something. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Okay.
Don't you have to close your
yeah, so now this is so the limitation of this visual thing is that if I have errors, it doesn't know how to show Dagger errors. So let me go and query. Yeah, this is the part where Dagger do will be awesome. Okay.
Gerhard has a sample.
Bear with me.
Has a nice sample in the chat as well of a Dagger query. Did YOLO try a Dagger his query?
Thank you. That's perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so you can see this is basically, yeah, roughly what I was trying to do. So thank you, Gerhard. Yay! I executed Python. I gave you the date, and now it's cached, I think. It's going to show the same date forever. So we have a caching question there. Too much caching. If I'm using that Dagger cloud, actually that'll be distributed in the cloud. So this date is the last date I'll ever see. No, of course you can do cache busting and all those things. Okay, so now the last part, I know we're a little bit on time. So now notice that in the Daggerverse, it doesn't say Dagger query or Dagger listen. It always says Dagger use, Dagger mod use. In that command that it gives you, and that's because that's in the context of developing a module. So that's the really cool part here. Actually, let me take that query and let me do this. Time. Yeah, date time. I'm going to try and create a module real quick. Date time. Only Go SDK available for now, but not for long. I get a little generated thing. Date time. I'll just say, what time is it now? And I'll return a string. And this time I do need to return an error because I'm going to use the Python thing, right? So, and here, okay, what do I type here? Well, hold that thought. Let me actually just create a new window so we have code completion properly. Dev, Daggerverse, date time. Okay, I'm going to do this here. Oh man, so many. Is this the right one? Okay, this is the right one. Okay, here we go. So, Zoom is in the way. Okay, here, ignore the other windows. I'm going to add Sam's module, and I'm going to try and use it, and pretend it's written in another language. It would make sense that it's in Python, but it's actually in Go, of course, on both sides for now. Okay, now I'm going to actually copy this. Okay, it added the module, and you can see in the dependencies, it's here. Oh, no. Oh, I did the wrong one. This is one I wanted to add. I guess now I can also say hello world in my datetime package module, sorry. Okay, so the results is normally now I should be able to say DAG. You have this magical object that gives you your API endpoint ready to use. You don't have to import packages here and go or anything. This is where the cogen part comes in. This just should magically work. So you can do DAG inline Python code. Let me put the, okay, that part's gonna be fun. 1 second, bear with me. Where'd it go? Where's Gerhardt's perfect query? Too many windows. Okay, let me copy paste it again. There it is, just the code. Okay. Okay, dot std out. Oh, did that not work? Oh, wait, there's no, that should work. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. There's a string situation. Okay, dot std out. Okay, let's see if it works. So this is a module. This is a Dagger module. Probably forgot something. Seems too easy, you know? Okay, let's do this. I'll do it here. So this should be date time now. Unknown object inline Python. Well, that's weird. I think maybe this might be a failed demo. I don't know how to fix that. Alex, are you here?
I think you have an extra brace because you're not sending a GraphQL in this case. You're just sending Python, right?
Oh,
line 11.
Or you have a bunch of extra stuff in that code string.
Line 11, the first brace, you probably don't.
This one here?
More than that, I think you can delete up to the first quote.
Oh,
there, right?
oh, of course.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
thank you. Oh my God, yes, thank you. Okay, that definitely is fine. Oh, and now I can have usual regular quotes too. Okay. Right, that makes more sense. Let me try again. Oh, I think maybe we hit another error before, but we're definitely going to hit that eventually. So thank you. Unknown object inline Python. Any ideas? Let me inspect this. Oh, there's already something listening somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that error is happening exactly. I'll definitely look into it after. But maybe you could try removing the other module, then doing Dagger mod sync.
Oh, like remove?
I don't think there's a command. You'll have to just edit.
Oh, I
but
see.
like the hello world.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's the first time I tried multiple
Yeah.
modules.
Oh, you might have an extra comma there.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, that's
better.
That's better. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Date time type query. Oh, date time. Okay, so that's because I was trying to guess what was generated. Wait, I want to. Oh, I should not have done that.
Yeah, that was ambitious.
Syntax error. Okay, we're getting closer and closer now to Python error. Oh yeah, I have a missing. Woohoo! Where's the result? I
There we
don't see the
go.
result. Oh, there
Right
it is.
there.
Okay, wait, let me focus.
Focus.
Yeah. Okay. And now, okay.
So maybe a bug with having multiple modules. I'll add that and check it out.
Okay. Now I've pushed my repo. I'm going to Daggerverse. I want the world to know. I'll go GitHub. Oh, by the way, you notice this, my repo is called Daggerverse. That's a convention that I'm trying. You know, I have one repo with a bunch of modules. It's my little Daggerverse. You don't have to do that. You can also have one repo for one module. Basically, whatever you want to do is fine. Daggerverse, date time. Gonna crawl. And boom. There it is. And now you can find it. It's the top. You're removed, Jeremy. Back on top.
Ugh.
So now you could, you need to build a Dagger, but let's say, you know, Alex or Jeremy could type, you know, Dagger-m blah, 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 and do this, and it will work. Okay. And just one thing about the syntax here, of course, what we would like for this to be, we were just talking about that, but, you know, we're going to add commands like Dagger get, let's say, Dagger get -m this, SX Daggerverse. Hey, this is a price to pay for freedom. Okay, you have to type long URLs. Everyone complained to me about the Docker small names forever, not free enough. So now you're gonna have to type more. Okay. Date time now. So this would be one possible syntax. So you wouldn't see that this would generate the GraphQL syntax for you. See what I mean? And we just we turn this into a GraphQL query. Okay, so I know we're over time. That if you want to stay 5 more minutes, I'll show you one more thing. So this is an actual module I'm trying to work on that I'm actually trying to make useful. I won't risk using Gale because but I mean that you should definitely check out that one just because I don't want to fumble for 15 minutes in front of you, but you should definitely try it. So this can run an actual GitHub Actions job. Like this actually works. And I wanted to show my little Dagger module. So I have a module. I'm trying to make a module to download and build and develop Dagger itself, basically. So Daggerizing the Dagger project. And it's work in progress, but it's really fun to do.
It worked for me, by the way.
It did? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I used it yesterday. Yeah.
And well, it's interesting because it kind of, we're still figuring out patterns, you know. Oh, not Dagger get, that does not exist. Dagger listen. Okay. Oh, I think I killed my GraphQL thing. By the way, I'm trying to make that a module also, but I need host networking, so soon. Now it has to be that. Okay. So you can do, oh, I'm interested in Dagger. Oh, okay. Whoa. So I was trying to model our product architecture in there. So you can, okay, there's cloud and there's engine. You can have the two parts of cloud. Of course, today, cloud, there's nothing exciting here. Basically, like you can query, oh, what is cloud? Oh, it's everything Dagger in production. So there's just a text, oh, where can I get it? Well, this is a URL, But what will be really cool, and we were talking with Julian about this yesterday, is that we can here expose, since the Dagger Cloud API, the features that you saw before, it is a GraphQL API itself, so we could expose it here. So you can interact with Dagger Cloud through the Dagger CLI or Dagger code very easily. I'm not sure what people would do with that, but it seems like it would be fun and useful. And then of course the engine. And here I can say, oh, give me the Dagger engine source, at this version. So you could get source releases from here. Let's see if that works. Wait, that's a syntax error. And what am I missing? Engine. Oh, version goes here. And then from here, I can say, okay, give me a source. Oh, give me a CLI for. Why isn't that working? Oh, for Darwin, give me the max CLI. Aha. And also for the worker container, run all the integration tests. Well, I'm not going to try all that because some of it's going to fail for sure. But and just to switch here to this nice thing here, and I'll finish with this. But if I go to that module, the Dagger module, I could say, I'm just going to type the query. Actually, even better, I'm going to type it in a file. So let me get, okay, Dagger engine version. Okay, give me a version 081 and give me the CLI and export it to this path locally, and give me the source, blah, blah, blah. Just give me the CLI. Oh, that's it. This is one that I hadn't done before, so.
You have to tell it latest that you want latest.
No, no. I gave a version. This is just my random. I don't even need a name really.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm missing a curly brace. That's all it is.
Oh, cool. It's building Dagger.
I've run out of things to say, but yeah, we're just marveling at the TUI. I think I have 085 in the cache, maybe. Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah, see, I had 085. Boom. Can I run it? Yeah, I can run it. Okay, so you get the idea. But if I want the Linux one, give me Linux. Actually, I'm not going to. I don't know if it's going to work. So, so yeah, I'm going to try. I'm trying to make that module actually useful, and it's actually this gives you a sense for what a more ambitious module will look like. So, like this is the entry point. Engine and cloud, and then if you go to engine.go. If engine, okay, give me the source. And then now you can see the logic. Okay, it's going to pull from the repo with the right tag. Okay, give me available operating systems and architectures. Give me the CLI. Now we're getting a little more ambitious here. It's using this thing called Go base. So now we have source of truth for, okay, what's the Go base image? A lot of this, by the way, I copy pasted from our existing CI code. It's just now more neatly encapsulated, And the worker, what I call the worker for that container, it has its own. It gets actually even worse. Like, okay, now there's a whole bunch of. This is where the container that we ship with BuildKit and CNI plugins and QEMU tools and an OCI shim and all sorts of crap, like the magic of the Dagger engine, and that's all neatly encapsulated in these little functions. and you can query any of it. So you can actually go and get, okay, let me just show this. I know we're still even more out over time, but you can say, okay, you know what? I want, give me the worker and give me, you know, give me exactly the build, the build CTL build of that, you know. I don't know. I think that'll actually work. Okay, so now it's, there it is. You know, that's the actual official build CTL binary for our working container. So you get all the little parts, or you can get, you know, okay, assemble it in a dev container, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, okay, I'm going to leave it at that, but it really works. That's kind of the takeaway. You can really have fun, geek out, and you know, this is going to be where the action is increasingly in terms of the ecosystem and the community. Jeremy mentioned in 2 weeks, well, actually in 10 days, we're all going to a team retreat in Lisbon. We're gonna have our own little module hackathon to start using this more. The week after that, I'll be in Paris, and I'm going to be doing a little hackathon there. If any of you listening or watching are in Paris, hit me up. And yeah, I think this happened really fast. We were just developing, designing for a long time, and then in the last 2 weeks, most of what you saw happened in the last 2 weeks. So you're gonna see more and more.
There's a good question which we may not know the answer to from Nipuna about which Dagger release is going to be the initial one with Zenith support.
The best one. Yeah, version number we don't know, because we just, whenever something's ready, we just ship a release. For example, there's a branch that Alex has been working on for a while. It's 90% done with host networking, so a way to expose ports, you know, basically connect to a service container from the host, and also proxy from a container into a host service. And that's, you know, a very popular and requested feature. Whenever that drops, we'll just release right away. It's independent from Zenith. So the question is not version number, but when. We would really love to have a stable release of this in November. We'll see if we can pull it off, but by then we will definitely have at least one experimental release. So something, maybe not the full final thing on the website and everything, but definitely a release of Dagger that maybe with an experimental flag, you can start using this. But again, everything I showed, you can do today. You just need to build from a branch for now. Yeah, so just go to daggerverse.fly.dev and click on what is a module, and it'll send you to the README, and you just follow that, and you can join the fun. And come say hi on Project Zenith on Discord, and we'll help you get started.